All right, so with all of the stuff going on with the blockade, recently in the last day, Trump, the U.S. Navy, they seized a Iranian tanker. And not a lot of people are talking about some of the reasons why. And with all the news of Iran saying yes and no and closing the strait, and then Trump and all this stuff, there's something that's very key that people are missing. And I want to talk about some of that. And a lot of it delves into possibly conspiracy, but it's important for this whole white hat / deep state cabal war that's happening that many of us are aware of. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what the news is and then do a little bit of analysis. All right, so back on the 19th, Trump tweeted this out, or truthed this out. Today, an Iranian flagged cargo ship named Touska, nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as the aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade, and it did not go well for them. The U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer USS Prudence intercepted the Touska in the Gulf of Oman and gave them fair warning to stop. The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The Touska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. We have full custody of the ship, and we are seeing what's on board. Now, that's interesting because he's saying he's cluing us in on what's on board. Now, there's a lot of news going back and forth of the legality and just a lot of the narrative happening, but listen to what CENTCOM has said. So they have sent a video or uploaded a video. Where you can see them firing at the ship. Enabling fire a little bit, but basically warning them, and then blew a hole in their hull, in their engine. And then, of course, later they had this video where the U.S. Marines went on a amphibious assault ship, the USS Tripoli, and then they basically rappelled down and did whatever they had to do. And so this is a small snapshot, but really, obviously, there was much more coordinated efforts behind all of this as they seized this ship. And again, while the narrative that Trump and many of the news outlets are talking about many ships getting passed and some ships, being redirected, being shot by even Iranian Navy and some of their boats and all that stuff, Trump just countering some of the narratives. He's talking about what the journalism and the fake news and all that stuff they're reporting, saying that they're winning the war by a lot, things are going well, our military has been amazing, and all this stuff, and countering some of that sort of high-level narrative. The Iranian leadership has forced hundreds of ships towards the U.S., mostly Texas, Louisiana, Alaska, to get their oil. Thank you very much. And talking about some of the oil stuff. And so people are perceiving this from an oil and even just cargo ship perspective. But this is what Jake had to say, among many others, about what might be happening behind the scenes. So Jake says, Trump didn't seize a tanker today. He seized a network map. The Touska is IRISL state-owned, which is a shipping company based in Iran, the IRISL, and they were sanctioned for moving ballistic missile components. This isn't a shadow fleet tanker moving oil. This is a weapons corridor. The cargo matters less. The logs are the asset. Routing patterns, shell companies, intermediary ports. One boarding can blow open an entire supply chain. Names, routes, cutoffs, all of it sitting in a hold that just got opened. We're seeing what's on board isn't a boast. It's legal cover for what comes next. Iran can't complain without telling you what was on it. Lloyd's of London doesn't wait for headlines. These routes just got more expensive. They lost the ship. The U.S. mapped the system. And something you got to understand is a lot of black market activity is happening on many ships. How else do you get black market weapons and other illicit goods? Because some of this stuff, the U.S., the Navy, and just many others, the U.S., the three-letter agencies have been mapping some of this activity. And so this was strategic. It wasn't, in some sense, just somebody defying an order. And yes, that was the case, because they, maybe in some sense, from their perspective, they could not be blocked. They had to deliver goods. They did not want the U.S. Navy to exert their authority. And they, FOFA, right? They did something and they found out. And this is where a lot of the news agencies and people are not asking, really, and probing, even from Iran's perspective, and crying wolf on what was on board, because it's a little bit of a sticky situation. They can't admit it because there was some stuff on probably this cargo ship that was not good, illegal from a world international perspective. And if there was other things there, they got it. They mapped the system. They got evidence of other things, supposedly. Again, I'm saying all this supposedly. But again, Trump, the Navy, the White Hats, these guys are not just doing things willy-nilly. They're going to tell you certain things from a public optics perspective to create a certain narrative to make it where the blow is a little lessened. But the military and what they're doing behind closed doors, it's bigger than what is being perceived by the world. And so, again, just a theory and what people are speculating. But again, Iran and these guys, the deep state, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, these guys are, in some sense, toast. They're done with some of this stuff. And this is why it's more than what we see as being oil and the global supply chain and a Cold War with China and all this stuff. There's more than meets the eye. It's a big operation, a takedown from the White Hats of this proxy army and the tentacles for which the people that are in power have over some of this stuff. And these are the arms, these are the legs that basically supply the world with some of this stuff on the black market. And so let's see what happens. Trump is coming out slowly, saying certain things and revealing certain things. And again, recently, if you saw the other video about the nuclear dust, connecting it more overtly to Obama and many others, and Trump has come out and said it, and we're going to see if we get this evidence of other things coming, revealings, exposures, and it's up to the general public to believe it or not. The same goes for what I mentioned the other day with FBI Director Kash Patel, the 2020 election. He's saying prosecution, arrests coming. Do you believe it or not? Is it fake news or not? So this perception of reality is what we're living through right now, of accepting and digesting and being awakened to that from a normie perspective. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you guys want to support me and my mission, I am a little short of my financial goal for this month. If you guys want to partner with me, all the information is down in the description. GiveSendGo.com/Chrisyoonyt. I also have PayPal, Zelle, Venmo. Love you guys. More to come. Talk to you guys very soon.